I've known for a long time that I was going to have a business. I've worked regular jobs all the way up until 2008, but I had a desire for a very long time to have my own business, and now I'm living that. Um, After reading Jim Cockrum's book, Silent Sales Machine, and listening to him talk in that book about the E model of making money online, where you become an expert in your niche. When I read that, I thought that sounds amazing to actually get paid for something that I know. Like, what in the world would somebody pay me for? At the time, I was very involved in politics, but I didn't really see how that equated, how I could turn that knowledge of, being in a political office, how that would help me, why anybody would pay me for that information. And so I never really connected the dots until later. But now I get paid for experiences, skills, interests that I have. And so it's pretty amazing. And you can do the same thing too. But these are things I knew was eventually going to happen. I didn't know when. Again, working in DC, I knew I was going to move to DC and live there and work for that senator, and that happened. There are things now that I still have had experiences in my life where I'm like, they were just very impactful, and things that haven't happened yet. So for example, I was working for the guy running for governor of Indiana back in 99 and 2000. His name was David McIntosh, wonderful man of God. We were traveling around the state. I was his driver. And this was before I worked for Pence. And we were up in Kendallville, Indiana one time. And I remember we went to a foundation. It was just a foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization where they did grants. They gave out grants to organizations, schools, that type of stuff. And I remember being in that meeting and thinking, wow, this is really cool. And I think it was a family that started it. And I was thinking, that would be so awesome and we had many, many different fundraising meetings. We were all over the place. He was always, trying to run for governor is expensive. So we were always raising money, and I was always with him. And I just was in a lot of those meetings with him. And so, but this one, for some reason, just resonated with me. I thought, this is really, really cool. These people give away money for a living. Now, I am not at that place. My wife and I are very generous givers, and we want to be, and we want to be even more. But how cool would it be to have my own foundation, to be able to give money to all these causes, these ministries that I care about? And so that's a dream in my heart. It's not happened. I don't know if it's going to happen in 1 year, 10 years, 25 years. I have no idea. But it was that experience that I can remember, that meeting out of all of the meetings we had in that campaign, hundreds of meetings, hundreds of events that we went to. I remember that one. And I remember being in that meeting thinking, this is cool. How cool would that be? And I remember just to this day, and that has resonated with me. And it's been something on my heart that I would love to do. Another one that has not happened yet, that I would love for it to happen, is this was when I was working for Pence, and we had a fundraiser in Evansville, Indiana, Southern Indiana. There was this family, Christian family, that did a fundraiser for us. And I remember this guy's property. He had a really cool house. When we walked in the door of his house, very nice, very beautiful, very wealthy guy. He had on the wall, as you opened the front door, opposite there was a wall, and it was a stone wall. One of the stones had this saying on there: "Look what the Lord has done." And I remember that. And I also remember that he had a separate house down a little bit away. He had this long driveway. And if you go down that long driveway, you ended up at a whole other house, which was either his mother-in-law's house or his mom's house. And then opposite his main house was this, I guess you'd call them now like a barn dominium, like this very nice extra building that above the garage there, it was like a guest house, or maybe his mother-in-law lived there, or his mom. I don't know if he had both moms at that property or not, but I believe that it was his mother-in-law, and she had a house at down the ways that was nicer than most of everybody else's houses. But again, I thought, this is cool. Someday I would love to be able to have property, have a house where either my mom, my mother-in-law, or both would be able to live with us. And so those are things that I just vividly remember, that like when those experiences happened, it was like something on the inside of me was like, this is a dream for you. This is something I want you to be thinking about, to be believing for, to be looking forward to. And it's something that's just like a recurring dream, not a dream at night, but a recurring thought that I have, like, that would be really, really cool.